Hey guys, Dan here again with Pain for You. Figured I'd shoot a couple of videos. We got some green on the trees behind me. I'm up close to my house. I'm really close because it's so windy and I don't want the audio to be messed up. Today's topic is going to be what pisses you off. And look, I do so many videos about the mindset and attention and focus and all that kind of stuff. And I guess I don't do as much as it relates to feeling your emotions. So really I'd like to just kind of touch on this topic. And regardless of whether you like journaling, verbal journaling, meaning just going on a rant and letting it out, or sitting quietly with your feet on the ground, breathing and just allowing yourself to feel whatever you're feeling, I want to just ask you to give yourself permission to answer this question. What really pisses you off? You know what I mean? And so a lot of times we get very intellectual and we try to think our way through this. And we sit down with a pen and paper and we go, all right, time to journal. We look at our lists and we try to go through it as if it's a homework assignment. But I just want you to kind of get real and raw and right at the top of the page if you're journaling, or even just ask yourself if you're doing it verbally, or even if you're just sitting with your emotions, just ask yourself the question, what really pisses me off? And let it rip. Literally, let it rip. Whatever it is. There's no consequences. These emotions have no meaning. Right? It doesn't matter. You're allowed to get mad or angry or even in a rage. But what pisses you off? What really effing pisses you off? Go on a rant. Let it rip. Dr. Sarno said these repressed emotions are what causes TMS. And he said most often it is rage. Now, I can't tell you how many people I've spoken to over the years that have told me, Dan, I went back and I looked at my childhood and I looked at my past and I don't have any major traumas, wasn't abused and all this kind of stuff. I don't have any rage. There's nothing big like that I'm in a rage about. So it's all cumulative, meaning it all adds up. So little angers. If you just kind of throw that in your backpack and you're carrying it around and you don't allow yourself to feel it so it can release on its own, it adds up. And over time, that builds up what Dr. Sarno called this reservoir of rage. And so as I talk about my framework, the knowledge of what TMS is, the assessment, do I have it, the feeling process, the emotional discovery, that's what I'm encouraging you to do in this video, is to get dark, to get real, and just be brutally honest as to what really pisses you off. And I'm not suggesting that we have to confront the people in our lives that really piss us off. But in the privacy of your head and your heart, give yourself permission to acknowledge once and for all the things that we've been running away from. And look, even if you're really pissed off at somebody you love, and that creates that awful conflict that I've talked about so many times, that conflict that creates the TMS symptoms in the first place, give yourself permission. There are no consequences when you do this work in the privacy of your head and your heart. If you're journaling, you can throw it away. If you're typing it out on a computer, you can hit the delete button when you're done. Nobody's going to know. But for yourself, give yourself the gift of at least acknowledging what really pisses you off. And you would be very surprised at how much or how good it actually feels to finally express, whether it be to yourself, on a piece of paper, on the computer, verbally as you're driving your car, whatever it may be. It feels really good to at least acknowledge the things that really pisses you off. If you don't think it's one big thing, don't worry about it. That doesn't mean you're not going to get better. But think of the little things. You'll be surprised as you go through it. Sometimes writing out a list I'm pissed off at this, I'm pissed off at that. Before you know it, you filled up pages, all the little things. And do yourself a favor, don't just look for the big ones. Write down even the littlest things that piss you off. The littlest things about other people, about ourselves, about what's going on in this crazy world right now with this coronavirus. All of it, what really pisses you off. Give yourself permission to feel that anger and that rage and let it out. Does that make sense? And what you're going to find is that there is such a relief, a burden off of your chest, the tightness in your throat and neck from being so angry. He's going to feel like, I just finally got some of that out. And again, if some of the things you are really pissed off about are family, friends, loved ones, that's okay too. They don't have to know, but you want to at least honor it for yourself. And so, what really pisses you off? Take some time to do this every day. And if you feel like you've already gone over everything in your past, stay with the right now stuff. I did that 2 days ago. What are your right now emotions? What's really pissing you off right now? If you're walking around tense and angry about something, even if it's your pain, get it out. Look, I know dwelling on the pain or the symptoms is not a real good thing to do, because inevitably, when the pain started, you didn't have the pain to be upset about, angry or sad about. So the fact that somebody just told me yesterday or 2 days ago, they said the only emotions that come up when I go to do this emotional discovery process are about my pain. I'm saying, okay, well, what else? What else is going on? Assuming the pain were gone, because it will be, what else pisses you off? What else really pisses you off besides the pain? You got to ask what else, because if the only thing you are focused on in your emotional discovery is how angry you are and how sad you are and how scared you are because of the symptoms, the pains, Dr. Sarno's, theory that it's a distraction. The distraction is working perfectly. So don't let it distract you. Give yourself permission to feel these emotions. So ask yourself, what really pisses me off? And dive deep. Try it. You may find yourself going on a rant in your privacy of your head and your heart, on paper, in the computer, in the car, in the bathroom. Somebody told me the other day, they literally, she kind of laughed at herself in the comment, but she says, oh, yesterday I screamed into the pillow. As loud as I could, I just screamed in the pillow. And it was awesome. That's what she said. Made me laugh. So that's the thing, is to really just honor and give yourself permission to feel your emotions. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. Just feel whatever the heck you're feeling. And look, I know I'm talking about anger and rage in this one, like what really pisses you off. But then once you've gone through that, ask yourself, what really makes me sad? What do I feel guilty about? What do I feel ashamed of? What hurts me? Who has hurt me? Right? What am I afraid of? Fear is an emotion. So you can kind of go through this process and just say, what really pisses me off? What really makes me sad? Where am I feeling the most grief? What am I ashamed of? What do I feel guilty about? What hurts me? What am I afraid of? These are some really good, emotional prompts. And for the people who say, I don't know how to feel emotions, there's a video that says how to reframe your emotions. And essentially what that does is it will give you a very clear indication as to why you repress emotions and resist them, because we were taught that as a little kid. And so that's a really good video to look for. Go to YouTube, Pain For You channel, and then use a magnifying glass and just search for the word reframe, R-E-F-R-A-M-E, reframe, and it will come up. It almost looks like a spreadsheet, but go through that video. If you have a tough time finding and feeling your emotions, go through that one. So, please do yourself a favor and answer the question, what really pisses you off? And with that, I'm going to wrap up for this one. It's super, super windy. Hoping the audio is not getting messed up by this. And we'll talk to you guys and gals in the next video. Love you.